So my plans for the expanded podcast are rather ambitious, and I've been working on them uh, quite feverishly in between day job and coping with life itself, and the stuff that comes through me via Flickr Street, and my trying to somehow resuscitate my eBay store. Um, but this project has taken on um, a lot of my time and energy, a lot of my thought. So, and also networking, something that I don't really do like I used to years ago. I've been intermittently in my life too shy to do it, too extroverted and annoying, or, persuasive and charismatic, but things still don't turn out. So, right now, I'm just trying to approach people who I would consider friends. Well, I have approached them, and there's a number of them, and they are all people who are at a level, I guess, at a level, if you want to put it this way, that I'm on with this podcast. Some less so, some more untested, especially on camera. Some have achieved much, much, much more in the area related to this podcast, film and home video. Um, so it's nice to have a variety of perspectives. There's going to be men, women, different races, different political persuasions, and I'm ready to go for it. I'm ready to create something exciting. I'm ready to talk about film. There are a few venues like this on the internet. I want mine to grow into such an apparatus. So, in any case, that's what I'm trying to do. If you want to donate to the channel, whatever, leo.rosegrave@gmail.com. If you want to send review stuff, fine, that's cool too. Or just at the very least, put a like on this, subscribe if you haven't subscribed, and share these videos with people you think might be interested. Or if movies or podcasting or any of this stuff is your thing, just share it on your social media, your Facebook and YouTube and TikTok and everything. So there's two other platforms that I'm trying to sync this up with. One is Rumble, and I'm syncing the entire 180 episode oeuvre of Blue Review onto Rumble right now. But it's very, very slow. Like right now, it's been syncing for a week and a half, and I think there's 3 videos on there. And it said this is a slow process. This may take days or even weeks. I don't know if I should stop it and start it again. There's not much I can do, apparently, to hasten it. I mean, I could upload the videos themselves from my computer and write new, rewrite the blurbs. But it is convenient to be able to just shovel my videos over there. And, people do this all the time on these platforms, from YouTube to Rockfin, YouTube to Rumble, etc. So once all of that is synced on Rumble, then I will include Rumble. I'll be doing Rumble exclusives for Blue Review with the new expanded format. And I also am going to have the commentator show. I've got that set up on Rumble. It's all I need to do with it is record the videos and upload them. So really, the project is sketched out, but and I'm happy the venue's there and that it's free and that it's uncensored. TikTok, I've done a couple of kind of provocateur like videos and just some mix and match of images and music, just fun stuff, and also kind of edgy as far as how disgusted I am with the state of planet Earth. But there'll be a lot more on that, and I actually recorded a 25-minute TikTok video that was going to kind of go into a lot of what I'm talking about here and what I want to cover. And I thought I shouldn't just keep going on these things and I've already made these introductions. So now everybody, the few people that follow me are just waiting for it to happen. Their breaths are bated, and I'm just reiterating that it's coming. So that's lame. So it is coming. And some of y'all who are waiting for it are actually going to help me make it reality, and I appreciate that. Um, but it's just going to take time. With TikTok, yeah, I want to do little movie stuff, little blue review related stuff, and then I want to do political stuff and humorous and musical stuff. So TikTok can be a lot of fun, I think. I'm going to do it in a different way than quite a lot of people have done it. And I'm not saying better or worse. It may be horrible, but a lot of people are watching my videos. I get more views from a TikTok video in a day than I get in a month here. I mean, and I'm complaining about the people who like my videos here, but uh, it's faster. You know, you're shuffled through this constant, system of referring people to other people and all these algorithms. But it's not algorithmic like YouTube. It doesn't have that. It doesn't like catch you if you're doing something wrong. And Rumble, they just don't give a fuck. And so, of course, Congress is going after TikTok, and in time they'll go up to Rumble. They've made sure that YouTube is thoroughly infiltrated by their own people, and the algorithms are programmed to lead you in a certain direction toward a certain narrative that they're comfortable with. So this is the state of things video. I just wanted to put it up because I've got a lot to say. I've had a really bad last few days, which is why I haven't been recording. Like I said, I did record a 25-minute TikTok. I'm just not going to use it. And I am going to probably post an alternate review of the movie Lose that I found that I decided not to do, that I had recorded on my phone in lieu of doing one like this. Also, another technical thing I like to do, I'm sure it's nothing new to anybody. I like to take the phone and the laptop and record the show on both at the same time, and then it would be like ready made for TikTok. Um, and the main show would look pretty strange because they have me here with different filters. I was playing around with that tonight. So I got a selfie stick. I'm trying to master it. It was cheap and it shows. So that's the easiest thing, to use the phone for what I want to use it for. I do want to do episodes on the phone where I can use the filters and where I can sweeten it a bit and more than one here. And also, the sound is great on the phone. It's really incredible. So this is my directions, where it's going, and I just wanted to check in. Hope everybody's okay. I'm alive. That's always a good thing. I don't know. Kind of been inward, worrying, a lot of anxiety over things that I don't need to be worrying over. A lot of things that good have happened for me lately, that I'm trying to collate and get used to. Okay, where does this open up to? Where do I go now? And it has opened up to a lot of time to spend on the creative stuff, but I don't have much to show for it. And then my arm is fucked up, my shoulder's dislocated, my bicep keeps spasming and locking, and then my doctor appointment got screwed up. So I don't want to whine and bitch and moan, but that's been my reality. So dealing with that and keeping a very, very tight uh, rein on my finances, which is why that spring sale with Arrow was important to me, because it was like, okay, I've overcome this, so now I deserve this for the channel and for me and for the library, because that means a lot to me. That's a comfort in my life. It is, I am a collector. I am a fetishist at heart. Physical media. I always will be. All my music's virtual. That I have. I have movies that are virtual. I don't have any CDs. I don't. I'm selling almost all my DVDs. I've sold most 2/3 of my DVDs. And the others are either for sale or about to go for sale. or they got ruined in a flood and I can't sell them. So my main physical media collection, I like books, but I do that sparingly. Comics, same thing. But Blu-rays are like, to me, this is like my cinema, and that's kind of why I wanted to do this show. Part of my Blu-ray collection was built by um, my time at Second and Charles. There was a customer who was coming in, and he was getting married, and his wife basically, I know this is such a terrible stereotype, and it sucks sometimes to think people are still like this to me. But she was like, get rid of all the collectibles. I don't want all that shit in here. Get rid of all the comics and movies and that weird stuff. I mean, I never heard her say all this, but that just seems to be the devilish voice that was whispering in his ear, because he would come in and be like, "Yeah," I'm like, "This is incredible. You're selling this." Yeah, I mean, I'm getting married. She. It's like, yeah, I do know. I mean, I've never let someone do that to me. They've tried. I've seen it happen to quite a lot of male friends and a few female friends. Doesn't happen much anymore. It's pretty much, fuck you. This is who I am. This is what I've got. If you don't want to be with me, you don't have to be with me. One of my dearest friends chose to follow this odious path that I'm referring to, that I wouldn't, that this guy who was selling did. And it's a major reason why we're not really friends anymore, because uh, he left a lot of his stuff here for me to sell. He just walked away and abandoned me and abandoned his stuff, and went into a situation with someone who doesn't want him to be involved in that. And he gave me his blessings, because I was going to lose my house. And this guy was a dear friend of mine for years. That's why I'm not saying his name right now, but if you watched videos before, you'll know who he is. He did live with me for a year, and I wish him all the best. And he would be the kind of guy that would be perfect for this project, putting together for the podcast. But I feel like that's a path he chose, and that's not a path I will ever go. But this man who would come into Second Charles every day, he did choose this path. And so he would bring things like beautiful magneto resin statues and busts, and a bunch of comics, and a lot of DVDs, and a lot of Blu-rays. And with the help of my employee discount, which was 30%, and then for a short time during the holiday week, it was 70% off. I've never worked anywhere that did something like that. That's how I bought my guitar. That's how I bought my amp, my Marshall amp. I think those are the only two things I bought there. That's the time I bought my music equipment. It was getting near Christmas of 2018, and but this guy liquidated a lot of things, and they were, of course, I did have the advantage because I was the one who was sorting them and checking the condition on them and pricing them. So I was able to price them pretty low, not on purpose, not in a felonious way, like, yeah, I'm going to price this for $3 and nobody's going to care. It wasn't me. It was really our system. Our system was geared towards books and, say, toys, action figures, things of that nature, and comics, as being, relics of value, that you would find. You would use eBay. We used eBay all the time to compare prices. There's a whole system of doing this, which is what taught me how to do all this for my eBay channel. But CDs and DVDs, Blu-rays were not part of that. They were like, there was no, the people who created these algorithms and these charts for these items, they didn't know the value of what they had. So he'd have a Blu-ray that was rare and out of print. I would go onto eBay and it would be like $85 starting, and then our store, it was $30. That was the little price, and if I chose to describe it in a different condition, it could have been less. But anyway, I bought it for $30, less 30%. It was Zardoz, and it's a highly collectible one. That Twilight Time, Twilight Time did a line of incredible films, and then they immediately went out of print, and they're all like insanely inflated. I finally got a Twilight Time Cutter's Way. It's gonna be so long to barter this guy down to get it for $28, which most people were paying 35, 40, $45. And I mean, there were ones I wanted like the Panic in Needle Park. It's going for like 80 or 90. But anyway, so I got the Zardoz, and I was like, I would never be able to afford this normally. I want to buy or want to spend that money. I mean, I bought the DVD for like $7 or $8 at Borders, new. And so basically, by the end of the year, by the beginning of 2019, I would say a good 50% or more, maybe more, of this collection came from that guy. Now, since then, I've gotten a lot of other stuff, though I've obviously had to slow down many times. And I'm grateful to some of you guys for fortifying the library so that I can talk about this stuff and have a venue. And I appreciate that a lot. But it was just like everything fit. Whenever he would come in, it would be like the kind of things that you would want to have as bulwarks of your collection if you were doing what I'm doing with the library. Like, he'd get certain Criterion titles he would have, and then the system would price them really low. And I'm like, wow. And so if I put them on the floor, they would sell immediately. That was one good thing about our store, is the prices were really low. And in movies, they didn't know what they had. But by the same token, if you're the one selling the items, you're completely ripped off. And this guy was getting cash. He couldn't get credit because he was ending all this phase of his life. But key Criterion titles would show up. He had so many of the Shout Factory and Scream Factory collector's editions of 80s movies, and I got almost all the ones that I wanted. He had almost all of them. I grabbed as many as I could. I think I got The Howling, quite a number of titles. Night of the Comet, I think that's how I got it. But he even had a Serbian film. He had bought the cut version on Blu-ray. He was curious, which I had done a few years before, and I still have that Blu-ray. And that was kind of the backbone of my review of it. I've seen the uncut version, and I really do want to own the uncut version. Quite a lot, but it's not high on my priority yet. And when I do that, I will sell this. But I don't know how the milieu has changed on eBay, because when I first finally saw the Serbian film, which was like 2016, 2015, or maybe late 2014. And it had already been out a few years, but when I finally saw it, me and a couple buddies finally got kind of hip to it, and we're like, oh, we got to seek this thing out. It showed up at my store Manifest, and I picked it up, and I don't know, man. That movie has a lot of power if you let it have power, and it can go good or bad. I've talked about this a million times, but at the end, it's all fiction. But that doesn't mean that the things people write and create can't touch you and maybe hurt you, but I don't believe that they can control you unless you desire to be controlled by them. And I do not desire to be controlled by any of this art. I want my own art to come flowing through me. And this is all just kind of education and fortification, nutrition, So anyway, I've gone off for a while, but nice talking to you guys again. Hopefully the next video I post on here will be a blue review. I've got I don't want to promise too much, but I've got a bunch of Blu-ray reviews. Obviously, some of the ones that I received in the sale are going to be highlighted because I already reviewed 3 of them, and they were well received. So I want to keep that going, and then I'm also going to there's a bunch of things I've been streaming that I want to talk about. Several that really stood out to me, like this I really want to just talk about, or I really liked this and I didn't expect to like this, and a couple more movies that I had been putting off seeing for years for various reasons. Um, so the next, litany of uh, streaming reviews, I'll try to do two per episode if I don't go too long, but at least one. But they should be interesting, and I would like to hear your feedback. So take care. I'll see you soon.